What goes up must come down. Understanding and navigating the cycle of panic. We all have dreaded or feared situations. Anxiety-provoking situations and scenarios come in all shapes, forms, and sizes. For some of us, it's traveling in an airplane or driving on a high speed, multi-lane highways, or stepping on an escalator, elevator, or being in a shopping mall. For others, it could be writing an exam, speaking in front of a group of people, or attending a wedding, holiday party, or an informal social get-together or date. Many times when we have anxiety-provoking situations, once you enter them, there is an increase in your physical and physiological symptoms. Then your mind begins to race and wander with negative racing thoughts, doubting your ability to handle the situation. Then many times we feel overwhelmed and all you want to do is escape. But when you can't escape, it's your Christmas party, an office meeting, or an exam, you look for a quick fix, which allows you to suffer through the event in distress. Thereafter, you're often plagued with negative memories of how painful that anxiety-provoking situation has been for you from the start till now. This leads you to have low courage, to push yourself through, and be able to enter such situations like this one again in the future. This increases feelings of anticipatory anxiety, and eventually you start worrying about the next time that you are pushed to come to a party, go to a mall, being in an interview, go on a date, or need to be in a crowded place where you know you may want to avoid the situation rather than confidently enter it and be able to work through anxiety. That's the key. Many times anxiety-provoking situations can cause panic, and that panic can lead us to a place of avoidance and wanting to cut things out of our lives, then confidently walk in, deal with them, and know that we have the skill set to manage whatever comes our way. Over time, these anxieties can lead us to start putting in safety behaviors where we limit our movements, interactions, and routines and avoid exposing ourselves to whatever makes us anxious or fearful. Please know that just because anxiety and panic has a cycle like the one I just went through does not mean you can't conquer it. In fact, a healthy cycle of panic means you still have anxiety-provoking situations. After all, we all are perfect and a work in progress. You can enter a feared anxiety-provoking situation and then bring in a skill set to manage it more confidently. How do we manage it? Well, initially, you roll with the anxiety. As your symptoms increase, you bring in techniques like breathing, grounding practices, and allowing yourself to connect with your senses, sight, vision, hearing, taste, smell, to be in a place of groundedness instead of getting caught up in your racing thoughts in your mind, which starts to increase your doubt that I don't know if I can handle this. But let me remind you, life only gives you what you can handle. I need you to trust that you can handle whatever comes your way, even though it sometimes feels overwhelming. And then instead of escaping, which is the first instinct, you choose to stay with whatever's making you feel anxious. You breathe, you start bringing in positive affirmations, and you remind yourself why you can handle whatever comes your way. As so far in life, you have been able to handle whatever has come your way. And then you allow yourself to have what goes up does come down, which I mean gradual symptom reduction. No matter how intense your symptoms feel at the start of entering a feared anxiety-provoking situation, those symptoms will taper and come down to a place that is more manageable. Thereafter, you are left with a feeling of confidence where you might not have the most positive memory, but you have a somewhat positive memory of knowing that you got through this situation. And with practice, like a muscle that builds, the more you do it, the easier it becomes. With this little bit of courage to have a positive memory, you build the courage to re-enter feared, anxiety-provoking situations with the goal to master whatever you're anxious by. Now that's the key. Whatever you're anxious by, you want to try to get bored by it, which means repetition. The more you do it, the easier it becomes. And so learning how to give yourself confidence to know that you have the skill set to work through anxiety and allow yourself to be all you can be and more by learning to challenge situations that feel anxiety provoking rather than avoid it or walk away and allow anticipatory anxiety, which is just a thought, to take a grip over you. Let's take a moment right now and just have a mindful moment of focusing on what I just said. Life only gives you what you can handle, and with all symptoms, what goes up does come down. Let's take a moment right now and breathe and practice grounding ourselves, feeling capable and connecting with our inner strength. Whenever we have anxiety, knowing that you have the skill set to handle things beats any fear or anxiety that you experience. Let's try it for a moment now and take a mindful moment to connect with the silence. Take a deep inhale in and exhale. Another deep inhale in and exhale. Now allow yourself to connect to the silence and remember that you can ride out feared situations, anxiety-provoking situations, panic situations, and even though crippling anxiety and panic attacks are hard to go through, you have always managed it, even if they were uncomfortable. Let's breathe together and feel capable of managing situations that sometimes cause us distress. Let's follow our breath and connect with our inner confidence. If your thoughts tend to wander, gently welcome it back to your breath and allow yourself to be grounded again. Riding out your feared, anxiety-provoking situations and scenarios, please always remember that what goes up must come down. This applies to both anxiety and panic. Always acknowledge your feared situations, as self-awareness is the first step to conquering our anxieties and treatment. Decide that you are going to make an effort to conquer your fears. Conquer your self-doubt rather than allow them to rule you. Bring in grounding practices that work for you, as there's many grounding practices, and each and every one of them connect with our senses. See what works for you, like deep breathing, clenching and releasing your fist, a body scan, closing your eyes for a few seconds, smelling a scent, or having a piece of candy and the sweetness, allowing yourself to connect to that. Remind yourself What goes up does come down, and even if panic feels awkward and uncomfortable, that's so far every time you've had a panic attack. It has gone through a cycle, and if you focus on your breath, that cycle comes and goes up and down a little bit faster, and you allow yourself to ground yourself back to a place of composure faster. As I welcome you back from this meditation, remember to celebrate incremental victories. These small victories will lead you out of repeating negative experiences. Remind yourself that we're perfect and a work in progress, and that each and every day we do the best we can with what we have, and our goal is to learn from one another and remind each other of the greater good, what serves us, what helps us become a better version of us, and how we can not only master ourselves, but as a ripple effect, help others master their own difficulties and become better versions of themselves. As I welcome you back, let's take a deep inhale in and release. And one more time, a deep inhale in and exhale.